All right, boys, we've done this before. We got to get rid of all these chambers. We're gonna have to cut all this out and then weld it all back together. I'm not exactly sure how this is gonna go, but let's hope for the best. So I have a really good video somewhere else online talking about all these chambers, but there's 3 chambers in here, and we're gonna try to empty this out, hollow this muffler out so it could be a straight through design. I got this bad boy with my metal cutting blade. We're just gonna try to cut some of these things out and then try to gut everything else. I might end up going and getting a Dremel or some kind of power tools that will help me with this project later, but for now we'll try to tackle and get as far as we can with what we got. As you can see, guys, we have a nice straight through muffler here. This is gonna eliminate a lot of back pressure for me. We just gotta clean it up, weld it up, go from there. All right, boys, it's time to do some welding. I got the edges cleaned up, as you can see. I also cut a little pieces from the remaining metal over here, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to tack weld them right on the underside, because there is a gap to fill on every edge. So hopefully putting this and welding it in here helps me fill those gaps a little bit easier. This is going to be very, very tricky. I'm using the Prime Weld TIG welder. This is AC/DC compatible. I just got into welding not too long ago, and honestly I have really no hands-on experience, so I'm going to be trying to do this hands-on. I'm going to put you guys on a time lapse. And this is going to be a lot of hours of work, but we're going to go slowly and steadily. A very thin material can be tricky. We don't want to warp it and overheat it, so we'll just be doing slow work, slow and steady. Put you guys on a time lapse. Like I said, this is all new to me. So in the beginning, I'm trying to TIG weld this, and I'm using aluminum filler on this steel muffler, and I was like, what the hell is going on? It's not working. Anyway, we switched over to steel ER7056, it looks like, and we laid down a lot of tack welds all over the places. Again, just experimenting with amperage and stuff. So I was running it about 34 amps, you know, using the foot pedal here. I dipped my tungsten probably about 2 times already in the filler, so that's not good. But look, this is solid. This is solid, and this little lip that we created here is gonna give us a lot more material once we lay everything down in here. I'm gonna cover it up, tack weld this into place, and we should be good to go. A lot of hours of welding here, guys. Terrible welds, a lot of disformation, but we're gonna get it done. Guys, I'll be the first to admit, this project sucked. It was a terrible welding experience. I'm really downed a lot from trying to weld this crap. But yeah, I tried to put the top lid on. It's not even worth my time, man. I'm gonna run out of gas by the time I end up doing everything. So we made sure we sealed the first layer really well. The top metal, we just tack welded in a few spots. We made sure we got the edges there, which were hard to weld, and that's it, man. It should seal for the most part. Even if there's a little minor leak, it's okay. Currently there's a minor leak on the exhaust that I have there, so this is fine. This is the bottom of that exhaust again, so nobody's gonna see it, and if it does leak, it's going down under the car. So the next step would be just to take the factory exhaust off that's on the car now out. Alright guys, this is the old muffler we had. As you can see, rust has taken its course here. And this is the muffler I'm a Puma donated, and yeah, we weld this up using a flux core welder from Harbor Freights. But you can see it's been blowing out right now. A lot of leaks, but it's been doing okay. We also did weld this area here because it did fail. And compared to the new welds here with the TIG, very disappointing for TIG, but much better here. We just did a leak down test. I have 2 minor leaks on the corners that I got bubbles out of, so I'm gonna try to tack those up and see if we can fix that. Minor leaks though. So we just cleaned up these surfaces here, and we're adjusting this pipe so it's gonna mount properly on our vehicle. So we got some lines drawn up over here. As you can see, we got some lines that we marked up, and we're gonna be tacking it on, testing it on the vehicle, and if it all works good and tacks up good, fits good, we're just gonna go ahead and weld it. I'm hoping this weld job here is gonna be a lot easier than this one here, because the gauge of this metal is a little bit thicker, which should make welding easier. Again, this looks pretty bad, and I'm just being honest here, this looks pretty terrible for TIG welding. Alright guys, we got a new tungsten here. Everything's mocked up, cleaned up. I'm running this at 35 amps. We'll see if that's enough. Just a quick tack weld here and there. Hey, impressive tack weld, boys. It's holding up quite well. Alright, got some tack welds done. I added some filler just because they're not touching. Those two metals are not touching perfectly. So, got a tack here, tack there, tack on the underside. And it seems solid right now. So we'll probably test fit it on the car and go from there. These gaps are fairly small, so with filler, I don't think I'll have a problem welding this up. I just hope it's at the right angle. So, probably jack up the car right now. Man, I know it's been cold. I've been working out in the snow welding the last 8 hours with the muffler is a nightmare. But yeah, I'm gonna jack it up right now. Let's test fit this muffler. Alright guys, got everything mounted. Looks pretty center right over here as we enter. Again, if we do have a minor leak, it's fine. It's just gonna blow under the car. The problem we had with the previous setup is it was blowing upwards, and there is a vent valve in the trunk, and all that exhaust gases were going into the cabin. As you guys can see, that's all hooked up there. I got this back end hooked up, propped up, and again, the tack welds are right over there. Pretty tight clearance even for factory right over there, but we're good. Nothing is touching. If we give it a little shake, it's not really going anywhere. Shout out to Max Speeding Rods for the coilovers again. So this looks good, boys. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm probably just gonna weld. $40 amps, boys. We'll tack a few more spots, fill in some of the gaps here, and then we'll try to run a little bead. Good thing I got these little magnets at Harbor Freight. Kind of helps prop things up a little easier. Slowly but surely. I probably need a little bit more heat, but I'm kind of nervous at the same time to give it too much heat. So as you can see, the welds are rising up, which means it's not enough heat. But once I get filler everywhere, I'll go in with like maybe 50, 60 amps, kind of run it over, let it fall in, and weld in nicely. I'm pretty happy with it. I may go over it one more time, let it cool off, go over it with more amperage, just so it falls flat even more. I was at 45 now. I may step it up to 50, but even if there's a minor leak, structurally it's fine, and I'll be happy with it. Alright guys, good morning. Good morning. Another day here. We got the car up. I'm going to give you a cold start. I'm going to give you guys a cold start just with resonator, open resonator here. We're also going to be monitoring that smoke that I've been having, so you guys will see in about 2 minutes it will start smoking. Looking into the exhaust pipe there, I do see a lot of condensation in that pipe, so I'm sure that's some of the smoke. I hate working on cars in the winter. I swapped the tip from the other exhaust here, so we are good to go. Again, the welds look pretty fantastic on this pipe, and not so much. But the car's kind of warmed up, and I just wanted to see the back pressure and the smoke, and it's still smoking out there. But we're gonna install everything, and hopefully this works out. Hopefully not much leaks. Alright, this is the initial start. Got the exhaust mocked up. It is a little shorter than I would like, just because we had less piping right over here where we welded. It was chopped off a few times, but everything is tight. And this is the moment of truth. Moment of truth, guys. So let's start it up for you. Again, the engine's already warmed up for the most part. It was idling here for about 5 to 10 minutes, so it's not an official cold start. Oh man, it's quiet. It's so quiet. It's so quiet. I can't believe it. What the hell? What the hell? Alright guys, well there you have it. There's the test drive, there's the sound effects, and to be honest with you, it sounds very similar to when I had it previously. Honestly, I can't really notice a difference in sound too much, but I definitely feel a difference in response. Now it just picks up and goes a little bit better. You don't feel that restriction in the low RPMs and the high RPMs. So that's my initial impressions, guys. Again, with turbos, the more back pressure you guys can eliminate, the better for the car, the better for the response and the power. So this is going to be it temporarily. We're going to run it like this for the winter season. Definitely planning to run a aftermarket exhaust here, custom, with a 2.5-inch exhaust piping. Probably we're going to delete the resonator and the muffler and run a straight pipe. Convert the factory 1.75-inch pipe to a 2.5-inch pipe and just run it straight back. That way it's going to be loud. We're going to get all the exhaust turbo noises that we really want, because we don't hear that with the stock exhaust and the resonator. It muffles all that out. Remember when we ran this thing open down pipe and open S pipe, this shit was crazy, and hopefully we try to get it back to that sound, but again, have that noise out the back, not right in front of you, because it was really annoying as a daily driver and extremely loud. Well, thanks for sticking around if you have for the entire video. Hopefully I can edit this thing in one piece and make sense of it. But anyway, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, guys. I appreciate everyone watching, and let's take this channel even further with cooler stuff.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true, but the world is pretty cold. You might need a sweater too. I'ma put a ride on ya. Kid from California, trying to make it in life. In school they never taught ya. Dreams of my own.